Welcome to the Deep Dive from Beacon English Podcast. Today, we're digging into something really fascinating. It's basically a strategic guide, maybe even a cheat sheet for getting to conversational fluency in English.
That's right. We're looking at this document called Essential Daily English Conversation Phrases.
Oh.
But it's more than just a list of phrases, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It feels like a blueprint. It's designed not just to teach you words, but to actually help you build, real connections with people when you speak.
Exactly. And our goal here, our mission for this deep dive, is to get past just what the phrases themselves and really understand the why.
Yeah, the thinking behind it. Why these specific simple phrases? How are they supposed to build confidence and connection, especially in those moments where you feel, well, kind of put on the spot?
And what really jumps out is the core promise. It's pretty bold.
It really is. It suggests you can kind of shortcut the whole process, forget maybe years of complex grammar, and instead focus on sounding natural, just like native speakers do every day.
And the way it proposes you do that is by mastering these really short common phrases, things people say all the time.
It actively steers learners away from focusing on like those big impressive words that document mentions things like moreover or nevertheless, words you rarely hear in a coffee shop queue.
Which leads us to the absolute core idea of this whole approach. If there's one takeaway, it's probably this.
Connection, not perfection.
Exactly. Real conversation is about connection, not perfection. That's the guiding principle.
And that feels like a huge mental shift for anyone learning a language. We're often taught, fluency means perfect grammar, huge vocabulary.
Right, mastering every single tense. But this guide argues that just getting good at the small, friendly back and forth, that's what actually makes you feel good about speaking.
It says it leads to feeling confident, relaxed, and natural. And isn't that what we're all aiming for? Feeling comfortable when we talk?
Precisely. It's prioritizing the social feeling, the human element, over just academic correctness. These little phrases, these emotional bits like, that's great. They give you the biggest bang for your buck in real interactions.
So let's dig into that first big idea, the linguistic strategy of simplicity. Why does this document argue so hard that less is actually more?
Well, the core argument is that these simple, short phrases, they're not basic, they're actually what fluent native speakers use most of the time in casual chat.
Which is the opposite of what learners often think, right? We tend to believe we need complex sentences to sound smart or fluent.
Yeah, the complexity trap you mentioned. Learners might spend ages on a word like furthermore, but native speakers, we just don't talk like that very often, day to day.
So the strategy is about focusing on the functional unit. What exactly does that mean?
Okay, so a functional unit isn't just a single word. It's like a pre-packaged chunk of meaning that does a specific job in the conversation. It expresses an emotion or moves things along.
Like see you later, or how about you?
Exactly. Or, that's great. These little blocks, they're the gears of conversation. They provide instant feedback, show you're listening, keep things moving. They do something fast.
And there's a practical reason for this focus too, isn't there? Something about word frequency.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Linguists have shown that something like the 2,000 most common words in English make up around 80% of typical spoken conversation. It's a huge chunk.
Wow, 80%.
Right. And the phrases this guide teaches, the greetings, the little reactions, they're squarely in that top 2,000 band. So by learning them, you're basically guaranteeing that most of what you say will sound completely natural and be instantly understood.
That's a smart investment of learning time. You focus on the stuff that gives you the quickest, most reliable results.
Definitely. And where does the guide say these conversations happen? It's not in a classroom.
No, it anchors them firmly in everyday life, places you actually go. At work, grabbing coffee, buying something in a shop, passing a neighbor on the street.
Which is crucial, right? Because it makes the language immediately useful. You see the point of learning, how's it going? Because you might actually use it 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
It lowers the pressure.
Okay, so if connection is key, and these phrases are the tools, how do we actually start a conversation without feeling awkward or sounding like a textbook? The guide gets specific here.
It does. And the first piece of advice is about what not to do. It called it the formal trap.
Ah, yes, the classic, hello, how do you do?
Exactly. The guide specifically says, don't use that one in most everyday situations. It sounds, and I quote, too formal.
Which it does, doesn't it? It feels a bit stiff, maybe old-fashioned, unless you're meeting royalty, maybe.
Right. It creates this little bit of distance. And the whole point here is warmth, connection, immediacy, not distance.
So to replace that stiffness, it offers natural alternatives. What are the main ones?
It gives 3 core casual starters. They're chosen because they're common, they're quick, and they just sound friendly.
Okay, what's number one?
The absolute go-to is probably, how's it going?
Yep, hear that all the time. Very versatile.
Totally. Friendly, not too pushy. Then, a bit shorter, maybe more for people you know a little better, or peers. What's up?
Right. More casual. Almost like, hey, anything new?
Kind of. It's efficient. And the third one is specifically for when you're genuinely happy to see someone. Nice to see you.
Simple, direct, warm.
Exactly. And the guide suggests that just mastering these 3 pretty much equips you to start any casual chat without freezing up.
Okay, so you've started the conversation. Now, how do you reply when someone asks you, how's it going? The guide talks about response economy here.
Yes. This is really clever, I think. The idea is you don't actually need dozens of ways to say you're fine. Having too many choices can actually slow you down and cause stress.
Yeah, you end up thinking, should I say I'm well, I'm fine, I'm okay?
Exactly. So the guide simplifies it right down. It gives you just 3 basic, easy replies that cover the general range of feeling okay.
What are they?
First, the standard positive. I'm good, thanks.
Okay, simple.
Second, maybe slightly less enthusiastic, but still positive. Pretty good.
Yeah.
And third, kind of neutral to positive, acknowledging reality without complaining. Not bad.
And that's it. That's the whole toolkit for answering, how are you?
Pretty much for these quick exchanges.
Yeah.
And the brilliance is it cuts down the thinking time. You grab one, say it with a friendly tone, and the conversation keeps moving.
It reduces the mental load, reduces the chance of errors, and builds confidence because you know you have a correct, natural answer ready to go.
It's almost like behavioral training, isn't it? Grab the good enough phrase, deliver it well, don't get stuck trying to construct the perfect complex sentence that takes too long.
Because 5 seconds of silence while you think feels like an eternity in a quick chat.
Way too long.
Oh.
Okay, so that brings us to what the guide calls phase 1, mastering situational specificity, moving beyond the basic hello.
And a key situation it highlights is when you bump into someone you haven't seen for a while, addressing that gap in time.
Right, that potential awkwardness.
Yeah.
You need something that acknowledges the time lapse and immediately makes it warm, not weird.
And the phrase for that.
The classic, slightly idiomatic, but universally understood. Long time no see.
Ah, yeah. Everyone knows that one. Even if it sounds a bit grammatically odd if you think about it too much.
It doesn't matter. It works. It says, hey, I remember you. It's been a while. Good to see you. All in one go. High impact phrase.
And how does the guide suggest you reply if someone says that to you?
Again, simple and warm options. 2 main ones. You can validate their observation. Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, confirms the time gap.
Or you can agree and immediately shift to catching up. I know. How you been?
Nice. Moves it forward straight away.
And the guide includes a little example role play, doesn't it? To show how smooth this can be.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Paul, long time no see. Yeah, have you been? I've been great, just busy with work.
Look how efficient that is. 3 short lines. No complex grammar. Instant connection. Totally natural rhythm. It just works.
It shows that these simple, validating phrases create the opening for the real conversation to start.
Exactly. So we've started, we've connected, maybe we've bridged a time gap. But the big challenge for learners is often keeping it going. How do you sustain the flow? That's phase 2.
The art of active listening and flow. And the secret, according to this guide.
It's deceptively simple. You show interest.
Right. Stop treating it like a test where you just answer the question you were asked.
Yes, that's the crucial shift. You need to move from just answering to actively reacting to what the other person said. Listening and then responding with, well, actual curiosity. That's what fuels the conversation.
And the guide helps here by giving you reaction scripts, essentially, based on whether the news is good or bad.
Super strategic. It gives you preloaded reactions. So if someone shares good news, say, I got that new job, you need instant enthusiasm.
What does it suggest?
Things like, really? That's awesome. You get
Yeah.
surprise, positivity, and kind of an implied question mark. Or maybe a bit more involved. Congratulations, tell me more. Direct praise, plus a clear invitation for them to continue speaking.
Which is great because it signals you're engaged and it puts the ball back in their court, keeping the flow going.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it does the same for less positive news. Say a friend says, oh, I'm so tired today.
What's the recommended reaction there? You don't want to sound dismissive, but maybe you don't want a long story either.
Right. So the suggestions show quick, easy empathy, like, oh, no, long day. A little noise of sympathy plus a gentle question.
Or
Or sharing the feeling, which creates instant connection. Yeah, me too. I need a nap. Simple, relatable.
Now, some learners might worry, is just saying, really, or me too, enough? Does it sound a bit basic?
That's a valid concern, but the guide argues strongly that these tiny reactions are actually the glue holding the conversation together. Why? Because they're fast, they feel sincere if delivered well, and you can use them often.
They're like the verbal nods, the ahas that show you're tracking along.
Precisely. And think about it from the learner's perspective, saying something complex takes brain power. A quick, "that's great," gives you a split second to breathe and think about your next proper sentence while still keeping the interaction alive.
It keeps things moving without adding stress.
And then there's the point that goes beyond just the words themselves, the nonverbal part, tone.
Yes. The guide explicitly says you have to sound interested, and it gives that very specific tip. Smile a little when you speak.
Which sounds maybe a bit simplistic, but there's real science to it. Physically smiling changes the shape of your vocal tract.
Right, it tends to make your voice sound a bit brighter, maybe slightly higher pitched.
Exactly. So if you say, "that's awesome," but sound totally bored, the words don't matter. The connection fails. The tone has to match the friendly, simple phrase.
It reinforces that core idea again, connection. The warmth has to be in the voice, not just the dictionary definition of the words.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've got simple starters, connectors for specific situations like long time no see, and these small reactions to keep the flow going. How does the guide pull this all together in terms of practice? Section 4.
Yeah, bringing it together. It uses these really specific, relatable examples from daily life.
To show that connection is about just warmth and rhythm, not grammatical perfection, like the barista interaction example.
Right, the quick coffee shop exchange. Hey, Emily, how's it going? I'm good, thanks. How about you? Pretty good, thanks. Just need a quick espresso today.
It's so simple, but it's complete. It's a perfect little loop of friendly, efficient interaction. And it shows the learner, this is natural English, you can do this right now.
And the neighbor greeting example is even shorter. Hey, how are you? Pretty good, you.
Boom, done, 2 seconds. But doing that every day, that builds confidence. It makes speaking feel normal, not scary. These tiny interactions are the reps, the muscle memory builders.
So to really see the whole system working together, the guide provides that longer simulated dialogue, the one in the cafe.
Ah, yes, the full role play. Let's break that down a bit. It shows how all these elements link up.
It starts simply, hi there, how's it going?
And the standard reply, pretty good, thanks. What about you? Then grounding it in the situation, I'm great. I just finished work. I need some serious coffee. Sets the scene.
Then it moves to shared experience, using those small affirmations. Same here. I'm going to get a latte. What are you having?
Followed by expressing a personal preference. I think I'll get a cappuccino. It's my favorite. Still simple, still natural.
And here's where you see the flow really working, the smooth transition to a completely new topic, prompted by the surroundings. Nice choice. By the way, did you see that new bakery next door?
And the simple reaction showing interest. Oh, really? No, I'll have to check it out.
Every single line in that exchange is short, functional, easy. It flows because it uses these high-frequency chunks and keeps the interest going. It proves the point. You don't need complexity for a natural chat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the guide doesn't just tell you the phrases. It gives you specific ways to practice them, to really get them into your system. Fluency training techniques.
Right. 2 key techniques mentioned. The first one is huge for sounding natural. Shadowing.
Yes. The guide calls this real fluency training. It's where you listen to a phrase and immediately repeat it, trying to copy the sound exactly. First slowly, then faster.
Why is that so effective? It's more than just memorizing, right?
Oh, much more. It's physical. It's about training your mouth muscles, your tongue, your breathing to make the sounds correctly and smoothly. The goal is getting the mouth and brain move together, as the guide says.
Like practicing scales on a musical instrument.
Good analogy. Or like lifting weights, you start slow. Focus on the form, the rhythm, the intonation. Then you build up speed to match a natural pace. It makes the phrase automatic so you don't have to consciously construct it when you need it.
It reduces hesitation because the muscle memory is there.
Exactly. And the second tool is the mini quiz at the end.
Which isn't really a test of vocabulary, is it? It feels more like a check on understanding the core strategy.
Precisely. It recaps the key takeaways. Question 1. What's the casual alternative to hello, how do you do? Checks if you've got the simplicity idea.
Answer? How's it going? Or what's up?
Question 2. How do you show interest? Checks the active listening part.
Answer. Use small reactions like, really? Or tell me more.
And question 3, what do you say when you haven't seen someone for a while? Checks the situational connector.
Answer, long time no see.
If you can answer those 3, you haven't just learned phrases, you've understood the philosophy behind choosing and using them. You get the why.
Okay, so let's quickly summarize the big strategic pillars from this whole approach. What are the key things for a learner to focus on?
I think there are 3 main ones. First, always prioritize connection. Use those simple, short, warm phrases to start things off, like how's it going? Ditch the unnecessary complexity.
Got it. Pillar 1, simple starts for connection. What's 2?
Second, keep the conversation flowing by actively reacting. Show you're listening with those immediate small emotional responses. The tell me more or that's great approach. Share the work of keeping it going.
Okay, pillar 2, react to keep flow. And the third?
Third, practice consistently, but practice smart. Focus on the physical act of speaking, the rhythm, the tone. Use techniques like shadowing to train your mouth and brain to work together effortlessly. Make it automatic.
Pillar 3, practice for automaticity. Focus on rhythm and tone.
Exactly. And the overall message woven through this whole guide is really empowering, I think.
Yeah, it boils down to every single tiny conversation matters. Each little chat, buying coffee, saying hi to a neighbor, it makes your English stronger. Practicing small talk genuinely builds big confidence.
It makes fluency feel achievable, not like some distant, impossible mountaintop.
So that's the core of the strategy, but it does leave us with a question, doesn't it? A place to go next, maybe for you listening.
Right. A provocative thought to mull over. Once you've really nailed this stuff, once you feel genuinely confident, relaxed, and natural, using these simple phrases for everyday chat about coffee or work,
What then?
yeah, what's the next step?
Well, think about it. These simple structures are incredibly effective for light, friendly exchanges. But how do they adapt? Or what needs to be added when the conversation shifts?
Shifts to something more serious, you mean? Or
Yes,
complex?
exactly. How do you maintain that connection and flow using maybe modified versions of these affirmations or empathetic responses when you're discussing a difficult problem or a nuanced topic or maybe having a disagreement? The emotional connection is still vital, but the language might need more layers, more careful phrasing.
So how do you build on this foundation of simple connection to handle more complex communication demands? That's the next frontier once you've mastered the basics.
That's the path forward. Mastering the art of simple connection first gives you the confidence to then explore that complexity.